Hey guys, I hope you're having a good day. My name is Melanie Hinds. I'm the fastest Iraqi dinar summary on the net that's human anyway. Some of these AI channels are getting really good. Some people have sent them to me. So the first article we shared, guys, my live stream has all the detailed timestamps thanks to Sabrina. My dogs all came up because I was training my dog to stay in the downstay. Now my dog is doing the she's doing the I'm the head of her. She's standing on top of her. It's just the games dogs play. It's the pack mentality. I don't know. My dogs make me laugh every day. So anyways, what I was going to say is the first article was the CBI denies reports of restrictions on Bank of Baghdad's dollar transactions. I went through that in detail. I love banking articles because that's really where I stem from at being an auditor with Pricewaterhouse. My dog just came and drooled all over my legs. It was kind of annoying. Smuggling and sanctions. Iraq caught in the crossfire of the U.S. pressuring Iran. I should not be laughing. I don't know. Forex and crypto in Iraq. Crypto, I misspoke, I guess. Crypto is not illegal in Iraq. Anybody can invest in crypto, I guess. But I guess the articles I was referring to, they were just warning them about the scams. People can lose money in crypto. They just can lose money, so they warned people about that. There's a lot of crime associated with digital assets, and it's true. There is. So anyways, they sent me a couple articles on how you could get into crypto if you're in Iraq. I'm not in Iraq. Most of the people I know are here in America or in other countries outside of Iraq. But then there was a Kurd coin. Evidently, there was an article associated with it, and I couldn't find it. The article that he said that was a good article about crypto in Iraq. So if you want to see that, you can watch my live stream. But I couldn't find the article. I don't know why. The link they sent me just didn't come up. Sometimes it gets lost in translation. And then there was another article, major global energy companies confirm their participation in the Baghdad's International Energy Forum that's happening in September. It's happening September, I think, 6th. Yeah, September 6th and 7th. So this is, again, putting them on the global stage. They've invited a lot of international companies. Again, they've had all those MOUs that we think because of the Iraqi dinar being digital and it's on the Forex handle, that means they have a digital central bank digital coin called the Iraqi dinar coin. It has a value of 129 on Forex handle. So what we're hearing is that in the banks in Iraq, when they take their paper currency in, they're getting one paper currency to one digital dinar in their accounts. That's just for Iraqi citizens that have those bank accounts that can take advantage of that. They're getting increased purchasing power, which is what we always thought would happen with the Iraqi citizens before we saw it internationally. So everybody's thinking it's soon. The next thing was the Ministry of Oil. They signed a contract for a 2D seismic survey of a particular exploration block. The China's behind it. They didn't say all the companies that were interested in it, but China was one of the countries, and one of their companies was behind wanting to get the survey of that area to see what was under the ground. The Counterterrorism Service created a special operations unit. They've trained them up well, our military guys that have been over there. Prime Minister, Holy Karbala has become a global city visited by millions. So again, that's another feather in Iraq's cap. The Holy Shrine of Imam Hussein providing free internet and telephone services to all their visitors. They have a pilgrimage going there. In Iraq, major ISIS figure was arrested. That was huge news today out of Iraq. We give you all the breaking news out of Iraq. Iraq's oil exports to U.S. exceeded 8 million barrels in July. That was big news. Also, Iraq is to vote on the PMF law in days despite the U.S. pressure. So again, there's a lot of different things, little pieces that can make you wonder, is this ever going to happen? But I do think it's going to happen soon. Then there was another article, KRG crew to resume to Cayenne in the coming hours in Iraq. And guys, this is the biggest article. I'm going to be live at 5 tonight, which means that is 11 p.m. Iraqi time. It could be, they could be resuming the oil as soon as tomorrow in Iraq, which is coming up. So I'm going to be live at 5. I think we're going to do mocktails tonight. Anyways, it should be fun. And so then we go to the other articles. Now we got this person, Paulette. I don't know who she is, but they've included her. So it says, this is all about Washington's threatening sanctions on Iran. I think Iraq is going to stay out of it. I think Iraq, it's up to Iraq. But let's see what her take on it is. She said, article, Washington threatens sanctions against Iraqi entities and opposes the involvement of faction leaders in the elections. This has been the main issue preventing the implementation of the Delete the Zeros project. That's her opinion, not mine. Washington must give the okay to proceed and will never do it until this issue is resolved. This has been the main issue we have watched since Trump returned to office. Trump demanded the Iranian militias be disarmed and disbanded all the way back in January, shortly after taking office. Soudani said all the right things back then, but took no action. According to her, this is not according to me. I think Soudani's been doing a great job, and I think the U.S. should stay out of it. I think we should let him be free. What do you think? I think, fine, be free. You've been under our thumb long enough. So I continue with her article. It said, it's now in the hands of the SOS Rubio and Trump team is tired of the Iraqis playing games. Is she in his head? I don't think she is. He's too busy focused on cryptos if you looked at what his executive order he's doing today. It says Soudani recently stated there is a sovereign nation. So Soudani recently stated that as a sovereign nation, they will address the Iranian militias as they see fit. Soudani is pushing for parliament to pass the PMF law in spite of Trump saying they had better not. Soudani and the COM have already passed the PMF law and are wanting it before parliament for passage. Ironically, Nouri al-Maliki, she's referring to, appears to be the only one stating not to pass it, as there is too much pressure internally and externally, especially from Washington. Trump has responded to Soudani's push to get the PMF law passed in Parliament by stating he will not support Soudani for a second term. I didn't hear that. That's coming from her. That did not come from my articles coming out of Iraq. So I don't know. Maybe she has some different sources here in America. This is the confusion. God told me, don't worry about the banks. It's going to be messy. Take the money and run when it happens. And that's why I'm going to do the bridge strategy as soon as that happens. So now we're on to Claire. We've heard of her before, but Paulette is new. It says, Washington threatens sanctions against Iraq's entities and opposes the involvement of faction leaders in elections. U.S. Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said Washington, I did do this article this morning. Washington supports genuine Iraqi sovereignty, not legislation that would turn Iraq into a state subservient to Iran, noting that any law that undermines official security institutions contradicts the goals of bilateral security assistance between the two countries. So that's Claire's take on it. What is yours? I want to hear from you. I know what my take on it. I think the central bank has got this way in hand. I think they've said they were going to do something imminent. Their Iraqi dinar coin being on Handle Forex at $1.29 today is evidence that they've already done something imminently, and the Iraqi citizens are getting purchasing power they've never had before. And so I think it's free to go international at any time. And there's a lot of cloudiness around it, like all these threatening things and stuff. So you either buy into that or you just keep the faith that it's done. Frank 26 says, Sammy says, if the new bill is passed, we can all kiss away any new rate or any dinar dreams. Sorry about the traffic because my windows are open because it's a beautiful day. Some of you complained about my porch and it was a little noisy. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why we're looking at that other house that thankfully we didn't do, because we have better facilities here and now we're out of debt. So Frank says they're already being sanctioned through tariffs. What are you going to have as a devaluation further of your currency? It'll be just like Iran's. Firefly, the law is set up to allow Iran more access into Iraq. No wonder your Trump wants to devalue. Frank says, I don't think that even Trump will allow your economy, your monetary reform to crumble. This could derail something Trump's want to accomplish. And, Frank and I have been on the same page a lot about what he thinks of Trump wants Iraq to revalue. Trump wants Iraq to stay sovereign. He didn't even go over there when he was over there in the Middle East. So Iran doing their thing is something that, and I also saw Soudani, because I've been studying the articles, he has alternate plans. He was working out all sorts of deals with all sorts of other partners, and so he could get around Iran because he knew he wasn't in control of Iran. So Soudani's a good leader, and I think he's got his country well in hand, and so we'll see how this actually rolls out, though. Nobody knows. I'm not Nostradamus, but God did tell me that it was done. Without a vision, the people perish. I'm here to keep the faith that it's alive, and I'm here to help you know that God said it was done. He told me to tell you that, and he's confirmed it. So now we go to Mark Z. He's one of our favorites. He didn't say much today. It just says, remember, lots of chatter that we have to pay taxes. He's talking about the taxes. He's the only one not talking about everything else. And Mark said, I've shared the information from the U.S. Department of State saying that the IQD is non-taxable. But I am not a professional, consultant professional. Mark, that is the best way to say it. I love Mark Z. I think he's great. Plus, he's the biggest subscriber count in this community. And it's true. We have an IRS tax reg that says foreign currency is not taxed. But I'm saying, let's just wait and see. I think if you're going to walk away with the kind of money we're going to get when you exchange, I think it's a good chance they can retroactively decide to tax it, because it's not a typical foreign currency exchange. It just really isn't. There's nothing typical about this. Then we got Mountain Goat. The 2025 budgets are in jeopardy. Parliamentary demands that the government begin. Again, everything's scary. There will be no budget tables under Article 12 or anything else for 2025. The cabinet will supply rollover these projects. That's all. Let's all nix this idea that these tables are going to bring us the RV at the time of the event. I agree. We shouldn't be. I've never thought the budget tables were a big deal. Ask anybody who's been watching my summary, and particularly my own intel sources. I don't think the budgets are an issue. Then you've got Bruce. And he said, it looks like we could be looking good for something to happen in terms of notifications and exchanges to start still this week. We've heard that from a few other resources, and that's making us feel much more comfortable about where we are. Are we looking good for the next couple days? It looks like it. Let's see what happens. I know a lot of things are happening. And I know tonight, Bruce is going to be live tonight. His call is tonight. I know the TNT folks who are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they keep postponing their calls till the end of the day. They used to go live, I think around 11 or 1. I don't know. I used to listen to all these people at one time or another before God put me on YouTube. So, and with my banking background, my corporate auditing background, guys, I have a unique perspective. So I hope you will join us and subscribe and tap the bell. So, guys, that's enough. That's enough fear and trembling about this. What do you think? Comment down below. Guys, I hope I bring you some joy every day. We're going to celebrate at 5 as if we believe it's already done. If you want to join us, I talk about how you manifest. I'm finally feeling better. But I think we're going to do mocktails tonight. I don't know. It depends on how the rest of the afternoon goes. But I hope you like this summary. Please join us. Bye.